Okay, all right. Okay. Bardic Beards, Bardic Beards, Bardic Beards.
Bardic Beards. Hey,
There we go. All right.
Episode 1.
Episode 1, buddy.
Actually 1.
Episode 1 for real this time.
For real.
Yeah. Okay.
Crisp.
So, how you doing?
Oh, man. It has been a week.
It's been 2 weeks.
They don't know that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, we won't talk about that. Okay. But yeah, no, it has definitely been a week for sure. My God. So.
What's new?
Nothing really. I mean, I blanked there for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was focusing on my shake there for a second, but
Take fucking 3. Huh?
yeah, start over. No, I'm not gonna do that.
We've been here 5 minutes already.
Yeah, it's true. Nothing really. I mean, like, you and I both are stuff at work. I mean, we're both applying for the same job.
Yep.
So there's that.
There's animosity here.
Not really.
We're not going to be friends after this.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think that they won't let us be friends after this.
Probably.
But let's be real. Neither of us are getting that job. So.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. What do you do? But, I mean, other than that, I wish I could say that there was more. I mean, should I talk about being in quarantine for...
Oh, please. That's a good one. Yeah.
So, come to find out, the day after we record our first episode, or 2 days after we record our first episode, I got secondary exposed to the horrible plague virus right now, and had to be quarantined for 7 days because I didn't get my test results back for 7 days. So,
yeah, and some people get them in an hour at the same place.
I know that is actually not even a joke. Like, I had to go to 2 places to get results. The second place I went to, I didn't get it until later in the day. And then I got back, I was finally able to go back to work, totally fine. And then the next day, I get an email from the first place saying, "Here's your test results."
That is so terrible.
That is terrible. Like,
man,
I don't get it.
Man.
I was the last person to, because I think 7 people had to go and do it.
Yeah, it was quite a week at work where you missed most of you for at least 4 days waiting on results. It was a time.
It was a time. Like, I was locked away in my room, which sounds good, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's
great for a day or two.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I mean,
I can handle it.
When at work, when we were shut down, right, and we were all in quarantine then, it was fine because the whole house was that way.
Sure.
And instead, it was just me in my room, and that was terrible. I hated it. You think I'd be productive, but I didn't get anything done.
No minis painted?
I got some minis painted. Yeah, I got it. I should have it done by now. I have a commission I'm working on.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's some orc boys for a guy we know.
Oh, okay. Cool.
He gave me 20 minis to work on like 3 weeks ago, and you'd think they'd be done by now because they're just little orc boys, but
I would think that.
The problem is just like, I get 5 done and I'm like, man, I feel like I'm getting progress, but I don't want to paint any of these anymore because it's not hard. I mean, it's just line painting.
Sure.
They're all same color scheme for everything, except some of them have to have some deviance because of the clan they're a part of.
Sure.
I'll paint half the arm the one color of their clan, or the other, like half their face or something like that.
Sure.
But
not too different.
Yeah, not too different. Yeah. So
you've been reading.
I have been reading a lot. Yes. So
you're into what series again?
Okay. Yes, I wanted to talk about this because I could talk about this literally all day if I wanted to. So for some of our fans, I'd hope you'd heard of the Dresden Files. By the great author, Jim Butcher. I'm going to give him a plug all day long because our famous podcast here.
Yeah, he doesn't need it. But
no, definitely not. But he had a new book come out on a couple of days ago.
Okay.
I can't remember what day. It was part 2 of a 2-parter series. So it was originally going to be one book called Peace Talks.
Sure.
And it split into 2 because of how big it was. So he had Peace Talks and Battleground. The Dresden Files series is been going on for a good
while.
10, 15 years now, I want to say.
How many did you say? There's
17, I believe. Yes.
Here, actually.
I mean, this is what you're seeing right now is just some of the Google images of the Dresden series.
So crazy. I mean, that's a lot.
I know. Yeah. So, these two right here, Battleground or Peace Talks, and Battlegrounds. Yeah, they were the last two he did. He released Peace Talks in early September. I want to say like right when the month started.
Yeah,
and it had a hard cut at the end. Like, oh, now we have to wait.
Cliffhanger.
No, it came out in August.
Yeah,
it definitely left on a cliffhanger for sure. And then Battlegrounds came out a couple days ago, and I just finished that. I dedicated all of my listening time because I can't read, you know.
Sure. Takes a while with your finger.
On the page. Yeah, with my finger on the page. Yeah. To actually listen to it, like I was doing nothing but listening to it when I was not at work. I was listening to it. So, and it was very annoying for the people that I live with, apparently, because they would knock on my door and then come in and be talking to me, but I can't hear them. But I
both AirPods.
Yeah, both of my AirPods. I have AirPod Pros, which I always bring them with me just in case. I forgot them today. Not that I need them, but
it's gonna ignore me too.
Yeah, exactly. It's apparently very annoying for them because I listen to music sometimes, or podcasts, or books when I'm painting.
Totally.
And they consistently are always scaring the shit out of me because I'm just sitting there.
Yeah.
And oh my god, you know.
How long have you been there?
Yeah, how long have you been standing there yelling at me because they're yelling at me? But yeah, I stayed up to listen to it. I mean, like, oh my god, that was a very, very good book. I know some people are a little upset that it was a two-parter. Sure. They say he could have kept it as a big book because if he'd done that, it probably would have been bigger than Goblet of Fire, I would say. To put that into perspective.
It's a big book.
Yeah. The Goblet of Fire is a very big book.
Are the other stories in the series long like that at all?
No. They're all typically... I mean, if I was going to put it in perspective, like Sorcerer's Stone long. Okay,
sure.
Each book, audio book, is about 14 to 15 hours, I'd say.
Sure.
Which is... pretty big,
yeah.
But this one was a lot bigger.
Nothing.
Yeah, right. I think this one was like 17 hours.
Yeah.
But it was very good, and the guy who narrates it, James Marsters, who I would have pulled up a picture of him real quick if you don't mind.
Yeah. His name's James what?
James Marsters. He actually, if you've ever watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, played Spike, and I didn't know that, and I'm halfway through the series. Like, this is last year when I started reading these books. I'm like, this guy sounds awfully familiar. Go to look it up. Sure enough, Spike. Yeah, from Buffy. Yeah. Yeah, sure enough. And I mean, like, I'm glad it's in because he does a great job.
Yeah.
But he goes to cons and stuff still, you know.
Sure.
Most actors do, and especially for Buffy, but a lot of people always are like, hey, Dresden, yeah! And I love it. That's and cool. He loves being Dresden.
Right on.
And that's the thing I like about him doing it is because the character Harry Dresden is such a smartass.
Yeah.
And the certain quirks about him, like James Marsters as the narrator, like, I mean, he imbibes it, right? Like, if
picks up, right? That's cool.
Harry does love a good movie reference, like myself. So when he quotes Yoda, he does it in a Yoda voice.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, straight up, he will do Yoda's voice. He doesn't care. Or if Harry's being sarcastic, and like, I remember at one point he does something in a Sean Connery accent. And he does it, and then he goes, in my best Sean Connery impression. Because the book itself, it's written in a style of, like, these are Harry's memoirs.
Okay.
So
first person.
It's his first person view, exactly.
Yeah.
No, great book. I have an idea where they can go next, because we in the community, not that I talk with them, but a couple of our friends also read these books. We're wondering, like, where does he go from here?
Yeah.
And they definitely set it up in this book. At least one storyline, for sure, that he could go with. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who is going to read it.
I got to give these a listen, at least the first couple. And,
I can, I mean, if you have an Audible account...
I do.
I can share this book with you.
Oh, right on. I didn't know you
that is a new Audible thing. You can share books for 30 days.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I know.
I just finished re-listening to, listening for the first time, but getting back to Hitchhiker's Guide.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I've actually never read that book.
Super good.
I've watched the movie. Movie's great. I think it's like the first movie with Martin Freeman I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They
have 2 sequels to the book.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I never got into them, but
what are they called?
I plan to. Fuck if I remember.
That's okay. But I probably should give that one a listen to. I have nothing to listen to right now.
I have it on Audible. So.
Yeah, there you go. You can share it to me. Yeah. So, but man, that book is like I was comparing peace talks as Infinity War.
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
And Battlegrounds is definitely the end game to that Infinity War, and it's like.
These are pretty big stories.
Those are huge stories, yeah. I mean, like, Thanos snap and all that. Not that that was the case.
Sure.
There wasn't a Thanos snap. So I will say that. But the question...
Pretty close from what I understand.
Pretty damn close, yeah.
Cataclysmic for sure.
Chicago, which is where most of it takes place, almost was destroyed. We'll say that.
You said current day, right?
Yeah, so, okay, I guess I should explain. So the Dresden Files are narrative books written in first person of Harry reading his old files. That's how it started anyways. Okay. So the first book, he is a private investigator or private detective.
Yeah.
And he just basically is a wizard for hire.
Okay.
He has an ad in the Yellow Pages, wizard for hire, lost items, paranormal reads, no love potions, something like that.
Okay.
And that is it's on his business card, and it's on the ad in the Yellow Pages. He says he's the only wizard in the Yellow Pages.
Okay.
Which for those millennials out there, or excuse me, Zoomers, I think that's what they call them. That's what people used to look up phone numbers with.
Can't just do that on your palm pocket there.
But so that's the series. That's how long it's been around. It's like early 2000s.
Sure.
And the first book, it's him investigating the disappearance of this woman's husband, right? Okay. And then it follows that up, and it went from him being a private investigator to now this, where he's so much more. He is
superhero level.
He's superhero. Yeah, I can only say he's a superhero level type person. He's an Avenger type character. I wouldn't say the Sorcerer Supreme for Doctor Strange fans out there, because they've definitely established in the Dresden world, when you're young, you are a novice.
Sure.
But wizards, it's not just a profession. You can't just become a wizard. You have to be born with the ability to do it.
Some innate magic there.
Right.
Yeah.
And that means if you keep on it and you keep practicing, you will live longer.
Okay.
So his mentor is speculated to be 500 years old.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing too. In peace talks, they really show that off, because he, for these circumstances, ends up fighting his mentor to, not going to say anything, but it happens.
Yeah.
And you could just tell his mentor's toying with him. And Harry, at that point in the book, he's I think early 40s.
Okay.
Now.
Been doing it for a bit.
He's been doing it for a long time. And he's like, I know nothing compared to what, this person can do. He was talking about how the way he could just lift up a piece of concrete and then just fly on it. He's I couldn't do that.
Magic carpet shit.
He does say in 300 or 400 years, where am I going to be power level wise?
Right.
And that's the thing. You, with those kind of wizards, with the old wizards, you don't mock them. They're the kind of they're old and they're still around because of how powerful they are.
Right. My only question about the world, after hearing you explain a little bit,
sure,
is so obviously there's some paranormal, and you mentioned some other monsters and stuff.
Yeah.
Are the normal people in the world aware of any of this?
Yes, there are a few,
because it's in the Yellow Pages, but
right. Well, most people, and he even says in the first book, most people call him only to say, "Are you for real?"
Sure.
And which he goes, "Yes, I'm for real."
Yeah.
But some people that are not practitioners, as he calls them, are aware of it. But most people deny it. And there's one particular character throughout the series who is just a big practical denier.
Okay.
He's even seen a literal frickin' werewolf tearing people apart.
Okay.
denies it.
Okay.
Yeah. And you're probably also wondering, well, how has it not been filmed?
Sure.
You know, things like that.
Yeah.
Wizards, when it comes to magic, because magic is natural, technology does not jive with them.
Okay.
So if Harry, because of how magically he walked, you know, if he were to walk into this room, this would just go into black. I mean, like, he would fry your computer.
He's a walking
EMP. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's why, like, photos come out fuzzy. Like, like if you're talking like an old Polaroid.
Sure.
They come out fuzzy. Security camera footage is non-existent.
Gotcha.
Because it just, you know, it just doesn't jive that way.
Conflicting.
So that's probably one of the reasons most people just deny it.
Sure.
That was going to be a big point of contention in this book because of what's happening. Like, it's affecting the entire city. But I'm not going to get into that because, again, spoilers.
Go read it or listen to it.
Yeah.
It's on Audible, apparently.
Yes.
Check it out.
Sasquatch is in that book. He's a real nice guy. I'm not even kidding. He's a very nice guy. He compares himself to the monkey in the video game with the glasses.
Okay.
Which it took me a minute to realize he was referencing Winston from Overwatch.
Oh,
because Harry met up with him. They're friends, actually.
Okay.
His name is River Shoulders. That's his name. He's a literal Sasquatch, and he saw him in a tuxedo with glasses on. And he's like, "Why are you wearing glasses?" And he goes, "It puts people at ease." And he goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You know, like the gorilla in the video game." And I'm like, funny. What? What are we talking about? And then it dawned on me because I played a lot of Overwatch when it first came out. Yeah. Winston, I was like, oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. That's neat.
Yeah.
Sidebar.
Yeah, sidebar.
You haven't seen our friend Marshall in a few days.
I have not, no.
He's on this kick because of a TikTok video he saw.
I definitely don't know about this because you're right. I haven't seen him in like 2 or 3 days now.
Apparently, and I have not looked into this at all, but there was like some FBI documentation that got like declassified some small amount of time ago. Confirming the existence of aliens. I really want to look into this.
Okay.
And
is he being serious about this?
As far as I can tell.
Okay.
Right. And again, I want to look into it and see if this document exists or whatever. But not only do they exist, they're among us, like Men in Black style.
Okay.
Right? And one of the first ones, Tesla. Like,
no way.
Like Nikolai Tesla.
Oh, Nikolai Tesla. Okay, I was going to say, well, a lot of people have their theories about him.
Well, there are people who think he's a time traveler or whatever.
Yeah.
Invented AC current.
Very smart guy, by the way.
Oh,
I've watched a few movies and documentaries about him.
Beyond smart. Yeah.
Maybe he is an alien.
I mean, if anybody was,
it's either him or I was gonna say Elon Musk. Speaking of Tesla, but no. I don't think he sounds a little alien. I think, but I don't think he is. You know what? Maybe he is an alien whose race was destroyed by AI. Because he's a huge advocate of not creating AI. So I kind of agree with him, if I'm not being honest.
There's a lot of both sides.
I know,
for sure. Yeah, no, I hear you. But yeah, he's on this whole thing, so it's kind of funny. You should definitely talk to him about it. I can't
think of Marshall being a conspiracy theorist, which is the funny thing. Like, I've known Marshall a very long time.
I know he's usually like super grounded and logical, and I don't know if he's done any background research beyond that TikTok video.
From a TikTok video? Yeah. I don't know if I could take that seriously. Like,
same.
I'm not.
I know I can't.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I want to dig, but
I don't do TikTok.
Yeah,
I'm like an old person. I don't do the TikToks.
I don't have it on my phone at all.
Me neither. I mean, like when Vine was around, I'd watch Vine because it's a similar platform.
I'm older than you, I guess, because I didn't even do that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I didn't do the videos. I just watched them.
Yeah, I didn't even have.
I need to look this up now.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen? Okay, again, sidebar to your sidebar. Have you ever seen the movie The Prestige?
I can't say I have.
It's a movie by Christopher Nolan.
Okay.
So
that is.
You know who that is? Okay, good. It's a really good movie. It's got Christian Bale. Go figure. It's got Hugh Jackman in it, and Michael Caine. Yeah, you know all these people, and Michael Caine.
Yeah.
It can't be a Christopher Nolan without Michael Caine.
Sure.
But it's about these two magicians, right? And they're always trying to outdo each other.
Sure.
And there was this one on accident. One of the magician's assistants got not got murdered. I'm sorry, she drowned on accident, and
Okay.
Hugh Jackman was in love with her. So it starts this rivalry between the two of them because Christian Bale tied the knot behind her back, right?
Okay.
To bind her
Yeah,
arms,
right, right,
like magician's trick,
Mm.
and that starts a rivalry, and it leads to Christian Bale's character coming up with a trick where he's in one side of the stage and reappears on the other side of the stage.
Okay.
And their magic is stage magic, right?
Sure.
It's sleight of hand and all that.
They're not wizards.
Right, they're not wizards, not like we're talking about a minute ago.
Yeah.
But it drives Hugh Jackman crazy because it's not a double,
Okay.
right? It's not. I mean, it's him. I mean, it's Christian Bale. He literally, what he does is he takes a ball, he bounces it to the other side of the stage, and he goes in a box and comes out of the box from the other side, like, and it's like a good 50 feet apart.
Sure.
And it drives him to this.
And catches the ball.
Yeah, and he catches the ball. Yeah, sorry, he catches the ball. It drives him crazy. Like, how does he do this? Some more stuff happens. He plants Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson's in it. He plants her in that guy's camp to try to learn the trick.
Okay.
But she never figures it out.
Okay.
Because she falls in love with him. If I remember right, I can't remember
Movie
exactly.
is off the rails.
But he hears about this inventor who can do great things, and it's Nikola Tesla. And it turns out Nikola Tesla has invented a machine that can teleport objects, but it never works properly.
I think that's something he actually worked on, like was trying to
Yeah.
craft or whatever.
So he found out he wasn't teleporting objects; he was creating copies of the object.
Okay.
So Hugh Jackman's character buys the machine and is told never to turn it on.
Okay.
But he does, and what it does is it creates copies of him.
Right.
Right? And every night he does the same trick, but he does it from hundreds of feet away. But what he's doing is he's copying himself, right?
Sure.
So the self that's on the stage gets copied, winds up on top of the stage, or on top of the audience. That self goes down underneath the stage and drowns. He
So
kills
he's killing
himself
them.
every night.
That's ridiculous.
Really ridiculous, right?
But I love it.
Yeah, that way, he can keep doing the trick, right?
Yeah.
Then there's not a bunch of copies of him.
Sure.
At the very end of the movie, you figure out that Christian Bale's character has a twin brother.
Okay.
And the whole thing was they were obsessed with stage magic so much that, like in the movie, Christian Bale's character, he loses a finger, right? He gets shot off on accident with a bullet catching trick.
Sure.
So what does his twin brother do?
Shoots his finger off.
Cuts his finger off. So they look identical, and they lived the same life. And
they let nobody know that they both exist.
But like Christian Bale's character gets he gets arrested for the murder of Hugh Jackman's character, but Hugh Jackman didn't really. Well, he died, but he's got a copy of himself.
Right.
So he goes and meets him in jail, and he's like, "How did you do the trick?" And he goes, "There was no trick." He's like, "It was just." He goes, "This person that you're killing me is I'm the twin brother," and it's revealed at the very end. And then he goes and meets the twin. Yeah. And the twin kills him.
Okay.
It's just a lot of. I'm probably butchering this real badly, but it's actually a very good movie. I highly recommend it because it's a Chris Nolan movie.
What's it called?
The Prestige. The Prestige is the final part of the trick.
Sure.
That's actually what it's called. In
it's
magic.
Like the magic term for it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Cool.
we got on a sidebar to a sidebar.
That's all right.
I like that.
Pretty much done with the main topic.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, how about the thing that you told me? You have some exciting news.
Pretty cool.
You texted me randomly from this. I was driving.
I was pretty stoked to find out.
I would be stoked too.
Yeah. So we talked about a little bit last time about I'm a big Pokemon fan, and my favorite card or my favorite Pokemon is Dragonite, and that I buy like everything Dragonite that I can find. Yeah, as long as it's decent quality or like a legit product. You
have Dragonite socks that I bought you.
I do have Dragonite socks that you bought me that I refuse to wear because I like them so much.
I want you to wear them. I was gonna say they should be here somewhere, but they're not.
They're not in my closet.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm browsing Facebook the other day, and I'm part of a couple like Pokemon card groups on Facebook, and somebody posts a picture of a particular Dragonite that they have, and it's getting a lot of like traction, comments, and stuff. So I start reading through it, and apparently It's an error card.
Is this something that people just found out?
No.
Okay.
It's something I just found out.
Right.
Which is weird because I thought I knew all. Whatever. It's fine.
That's okay.
I missed one. It happens.
That's fine.
And actually, there's a second misprint on the same card, but it's like much smaller a deal.
Okay.
So that's what I thought it was initially. But in the set Team Rocket that was printed in 2000.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
That's more than 20 years ago.
Yeah. Oh my god. We're so old. There were 2 Dragonite cards in that set. They look the same, other than one's holographic and one isn't.
Right.
Some of the ones that were supposed to be printed as holographics weren't. But you can tell because they're still numbered the same. They're the same number in the set.
Right.
So I immediately am like, I have lots of Dragonite cards. The first thing I do, though, is I go to eBay, and I'm going to pull it up real quick. One was sold not that long ago. Graded really well, mind you, for $1,400.
Yeah, when you showed me that, I immediately had to call you.
Yeah, you did.
Because we were texting back and forth, but I was also driving.
Yeah.
Don't text and drive, by the way.
At all. It can wait.
It can wait, but except
AT&T. But it's I was immediately intrigued, and I started just thumbing through where I know I keep most of my Dragonite cards, and lo and behold, I stumble across 3 of that card from that set, and 2 of them are this error card, and that's pretty cool news. But it's not quite the most exciting part. Because one of the 2 that I have is printed as first edition. It's the first wave of them that came out, and so I tried to look for some of those that have been sold, and I haven't been able to find any. Not that I've dug too hard, but there are a few listings here on Amazon.
While you do that, I'm sorry, I have to read what I sent you because it was hilarious. Okay, so you have it on the screen.
They're going for one that's graded barely above average, $4,000, and then through the roof. Not that I expect them to actually be worth that much, because these are just listings, not actually sold listings. That's how eBay is sometimes. But.
So my first response is, "We're rich!" Exclamation point. We're, by the way, and then I put, and then I go, we, me, you, as a joke. I just thought that was funny. That is nuts. Like I told you could easily pay off your car with
which
that.
is pretty nuts.
Yeah, that is very nuts. I think the only thing I have that is collectible worthy wise is one comic book. I used to collect a lot of comics. Not really collect them. I would buy them because I wanted to read them.
Sure.
And it's Batman Nightfall. If you could pull it up real quick. Yeah. It's for any comic nerds out there. That is when Batman had his back broken by Bane.
I'm searching on eBay because I'm terrible.
That's okay. There you go. It's the not that one. No, that one right there. Second, third.
Oh,
it's okay.
This guy?
Nope. That one. Yes, I have that one.
All right.
It's the first from that volume, and it's that cover right there of him getting his back broken.
Oh.
And it's rated pretty high, but I don't think it's a very expensive like on eBay, because that was a well printed. Like it wasn't like the Death of Superman, which sold for an enormous amount of money.
Did it?
Yeah. Well, no.
I don't knew too much about the comic side of things.
Yeah. So like the whole series. Yeah, $100. Yeah. $20 at best. Yeah, and that one's not even graded probably.
It's not. So.
Just real quick on eBay. You're not on the also by the way. Yeah. Do the Death of Superman. I'm just curious what it's at, because they printed so many copies that it went into the Uncanny Valley. So yeah,
like they reprinted it later on.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So like it was a big event because Superman actually died.
Yeah. Is there any way to tell them apart? Like, can you find like a first printing?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I'm sure there is. I'm not that big into like comic grading. I know a lot about comics, obviously.
Sure.
But when it came to like this stuff right here, like I couldn't tell you. Sure. But yeah, definitely like they printed so many copies that it broke
Of course.
the economy for it.
Yeah, it happens.
Happens, exactly. I mean, that was also, that was 30 years ago, 1992.
1992.
So almost 30 years ago.
28.
Yeah, 28 years. I was born in 92, so yeah. But it was a big deal back then because Superman actually did die. Yeah. And then they were not going to bring him back, but guess what? He came back.
And now every comic hero worth his salt has a cool death story.
But the only
two or three.
It's funny because the only people who've never come back after dying was Uncle Ben and the Waynes. Bruce Wayne's parents. Mm-hmm. They've never come back after they died.
And any telling of the story?
No.
Interesting. I want to see like the Spider-Man where Uncle Ben becomes Spider-Man.
There is the Spider-Verse where I think Ben Parker is Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty certain. I could be wrong there, but I'm pretty certain. Like Into the Spider-Verse, the comic, not the movie, the great movie by the way,
a fantastic movie.
But the actual Spider-Verse comic has a Ben Parker in there.
Did you ever watch the 90s animated Spider-Man show?
Hell yeah, I did.
I like when they got into like
the
different Spider-Men and the whole, what was her name?
Madam Web.
Madam Web.
Yep.
That was really cool towards the end of that series.
Yeah, it's always something to do with Madam Web when it comes to the different spider peoples.
Yeah.
I don't know why exactly, but
that
you know that
she controls that shit. You know?
Speaking of Spider-Man comics, the Clone Saga. You ever heard of that?
Not familiar.
So you know who Peter Parker, obviously. He got cloned at one point during the 90s.
Okay.
And then there was a West Coast Spider-Man, and that was his name was
like
Ben Reilly.
Like LA.
No, his name was Ben Reilly.
Yeah.
And he wore the blue and red suit.
Sure.
That was a clone of Peter Parker.
Okay.
And that series went on. It was supposed to go on for like 30 issues. Went on for 9 years.
Jeez.
Or something like that. Yeah. But people don't like that series at all because it kept changing. Like, no, Ben Reilly is the real Peter Parker. Oh, no, Peter Parker is real Peter Parker. Whatever.
Yeah.
So because they wanted Spider-Man to stay a kid, but you can only stay a kid so long,
right?
Because he's a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But like, come on, the guy. I mean, even in the comics now, I'm pretty certain he's an adult.
Sure.
Because if I remember right, there was the Superior Spider-Man series was out. This was a while ago, at least 5 years ago, where he was a full-grown adult and Doc Ock took over his mind.
Oh.
And he was like, but he made him a successful person.
Okay.
Yeah, so like there was like a Parker Corporation or whatever. Yeah, and that Spider-Man had 4 extra limbs, of course, because of Doc Ock and spiders and whatnot.
That's cool. I should read some of that because Spider-Man's definitely like by far my favorite hero.
Well, he's the top 3 selling characters for them is Spider-Man, Wolverine, and the Fantastic. Well, it was the Fantastic Four, I think. Not anymore. They don't print Fantastic Four anymore.
Do they not?
I don't know. There's a reason why, but I think they may have started again, but they stopped for a while. So it's actually, I'm sorry, I take that back. It's Spider-Man, the X-Men, and I can't remember.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Those are definitely the two.
they did stop doing Fantastic Four comics because they still didn't have the rights to them movie wise.
Yeah, that's right.
So they stopped printing them for a while.
It's a shame.
I know. Well, they have the rights to them now because they bought Fox.
Right.
So that I think they may have restarted printing their stuff because they were great. They were the first family of Marvel.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I just, when I think about that, like Disney bought Fox, 20th Century Fox, right? That's a huge deal.
Totally.
One of my favorite memes is Mickey with the Infinity Gauntlet collecting and he's collecting all of them. It's like Marvel. And
you know what's insane is I forget the numbers exactly, but I'm pretty sure Disney bought Lucas and Fox for less than Microsoft just paid for Bethesda.
What did they pay for Bethesda?
I'll look it up. It's in the multi.
Yeah, because I'm curious about that.
Dollars.
So I know for a fact when Marvel was acquisitioned by Disney back in 2010, they paid $4 billion for them.
Yeah, this was like a close to 8, I think.
They are now a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Oh, yeah.
Or because of because of movies.
$7.5 billion.
7.5. Yeah. So they acquired LucasArts, LucasArts for I want to say close to another 4 or 5 billion. And if I remember right, the deal was that George Lucas himself was paid a lot of money, but he wanted stock options in cash.
4 billion.
4 billion. Okay.
So it's really close.
Yeah.
You could have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you rather have Bethesda or almost all of Fox and Star Wars?
That's a good question.
I'll take Fox and Star Wars personally.
But they paid them in some actual liquid cash, but also in stock options. And he gave the stock options to his employees.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
That's cool.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like, they're taken care of.
Oh, totally.
Disney's not going anywhere.
No.
I mean, like, they are laying off 600 employees or something like that.
Sure. I mean, the parks are down right now, but it's not like they will be forever.
And that's all their parks, across all their parks.
That's not that many, to be fair. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be that guy. It's a drop in a bucket.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks, of course, for all the people and families.
We're there for you. Trust me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a ton of money.
But you know what that means, though. But Microsoft could make a New Vegas 2.
People are so stoked on the internet about that.
Yeah, because they own Obsidian and Bethesda now.
The Obsidian guys are probably not that stoked, honestly.
You don't think so?
No, because they just came out with that new game. I forget the name of it.
Yeah,
but it's like a Skyrim clone.
No, it's a Fallout clone.
That's what
it definitely is. I can't remember the name of it either.
And now they're like, fuck,
The Other Worlds?
Maybe.
I can't remember.
Whatever.
It tells you how much we know. But yeah, they're either really stoked or they're not that stoked. It's one of the two.
Yeah, totally.
Because
it's probably divided.
It's probably divided.
Yeah.
I know I would be all for a Fallout, or I mean for a New Vegas.
A lot of people would.
Too. I mean, I liked New Vegas. I just didn't like the way it ended.
Yeah.
Because when you picked your option and it ended, it was done. It wasn't like Fallout 3 where you could go back and keep playing.
Sure.
So
yeah, I don't necessarily love games like that. I want to be able to go back and side missions or collectibles or just play around in the game world at least.
We talked about Skyrim last time.
Yeah.
I wanted to 100%
really
that.
Yeah.
And I did.
I 100% in very few games in my lifetime.
You know what this means, though, right? What's the guy who owns Bethesda?
I don't know. Yeah, I forget his name.
You know how he's always like you could buy Skyrim now on this and on this. People who pay for Xbox Premium, they're now paying for Skyrim every month. Because it's games with gold now.
Yeah, it's part of that Game Pass nonsense.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, man, he figured out a way for people to keep buying Skyrim.
Dude, when the Xbox comes out, you're going to get an 8K release.
Yeah, that's very true. When it comes out, and if I get one, I don't know. I couldn't pre-order one. I tried.
Yeah.
All day I tried.
Yeah. I mean, you'll get one at some point, even if it's not launch day or whatever.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I think in my head, made it a big deal than it was.
Yeah.
Because to be totally honest with you, I don't play games like I used to.
Same.
I do other things.
Yeah. I'm probably not gonna get an Xbox this gen.
I will.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, I'm a movie buff, so I want the highest quality I can get movies and stuff.
Totally.
Like, that's why I still buy movies. I think I talked about that last time.
Did,
yeah. I haven't bought any movies recently though because nothing is out.
We're getting there.
I know, but still, it's kind of sucks.
Yeah.
We'll get Black Widow eventually. Isn't that crazy? Marvel hasn't put any movies out at all this year. It's like Endgame came out last year, and then they had Spiderman, which is like the ripple from that, like a big bomb, a ripple, nothing.
Big movie, but
don't get me wrong.
It pales in comparison.
It pales, yeah. Great movie. Yeah, I know.
I fucking loved it. I can't wait for the sequel.
Did you see the remastered Spider-Man?
I didn't.
So they're remastering Spider-Man for PS5.
Okay.
And the Peter Parker in that, they remastered his face. He looks so much like Tom Holland. Can you pull it up real quick?
Oh, you know what? I did see that.
You did? I think
the internet was not pleased.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of dumb if you ask me. Like, I'd be okay with that. Your Spider-Man. Yeah, there you go. Spider-Man remastered. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really... But wasn't it supposed to be Miles, though?
No. They are still doing a Miles Morales.
Oh, so those are two different games.
Two different games, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, then yeah, I'm not mad at that.
No.
Yeah.
I don't hate it whatsoever. I think it's pretty cool, if you ask me.
Yeah, that looks really good.
It does look really good. I wonder, though, if they got his permission for that, or if it's just like just enough that they can get away with it, because...
I don't see why he wouldn't sign off on it, other than maybe not get a paycheck.
Yeah. So,
because he loves the role.
He does love the role, but a lot of people, I'm sure some people know this, but I know for a fact you don't know this, so you're going to get some education
All right,
here.
let's go.
When the Ultimate Avengers came out, right, which is a separate Marvel universe. So Marvel's main universe is Earth 616.
Sure.
The Ultimate Universe is 1616, I think is what it is.
Okay.
They put a new Nick Fury out.
Okay.
And that Nick Fury so happened to look like Samuel Jackson.
Okay.
This is before Iron Man came out.
Before he's part of...
No. This is before the Iron Man movies and the MCU came out.
Right.
Because the MCU wasn't even a thing when Iron Man came out.
Right.
Sam Jackson was not a part of that.
No.
He sued big time because it looked just like him. But you know what they did? They kept all of it under the rug, and they said, "All right, look, we're sorry. How about we do this?" And they made a deal with him that you could be Nick Fury in any upcoming movies that involve Nick Fury.
Nice.
20 what did like the 10
movies?
Yeah, 23 movies later.
Not that he's in all of them.
Yeah, no, I know, but still, like the guy is Nick Fury now.
Yeah.
So he's officially Nick Fury.
Yep.
And every Nick Fury licensed movie or TV show, which he has got a TV show coming out.
Oh, that's
all
right.
because they accidentally used his likeness.
Probably accidentally on purpose. Yeah.
Man, that guy got a hell of a deal because I know they paid him a little bit of money, but the big thing was that he wanted to be in the movies. And he was in the first Iron Man at the very end. They actually included that credit after the movie had been filmed, and they had actually done reshoots already. They had to do one more reshoot, and that was for him to be in that movie.
Gotcha.
And that's very interesting to think about that.
Tidbit.
Yep. Little tidbit.
That's cool.
Now you know why Sam Jackson is in the MCU.
You're welcome, Internet.
You're welcome. Evan knows.
Oh, man.
I told Devin that story. Our friend Devin, I told him that when we started playing the Avengers game, which is actually really good.
I've heard mixed things, but
I like it. But that's like they showed a black Nick Fury in that. Typically, Nick Fury in the comics is white.
Sure.
He originally was, and they even had an old '90s Nick Fury TV show. It had one episode. It was like a TV movie, not TV show, but it was a TV movie, and David Hasselhoff played as Nick Fury. So
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, but that was the reason I was like, oh, cool. They went with the Sam Jackson Nick Fury, which I think was when most people think of Nick Fury now, they think of that. Because up until Marvel's biggest reboot, they did do a reboot where they wiped everything, like they wiped their whole slate clean. This was about 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah. That Nick Fury was still white. Okay. And the Ultimate one was still Sam Jackson.
Okay.
But now it's just, black Sam Jackson.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
so
totally. Spider-Man, before we move too far away.
That's fine. I can talk about Spider-Man all day long.
I had heard when they first were talking about the sequel, about the potential, like, what it's going to be. But only like a week ago did I find out that's actually how they're doing it and saw the little...
Did you? What is it about Jamie Foxx?
Yeah.
This. You're talking about this?
No, the movie.
Oh, okay.
The next movie that it's going to be like the Venom crossover.
And, but also they're talking about bringing Jamie Foxx back.
Okay.
From he was in the Amazing Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
He was Electro.
Yeah. Yep.
So what does that mean? Because they brought J. Jonah Jameson back.
Yes.
Which, in my opinion, there's only one J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh, totally.
And that's definitely J.K. Simmons.
I'm so glad he's back.
And I also like how he's like the Alex Jones of their internet.
Yeah, that's true. but on a way bigger platform.
Oh, yeah. Because they show him on Times Square. That's a big deal.
Totally.
Alex Jones doesn't go to Times Square.
No.
Thank God.
Yeah, I'm gonna hate Times Square.
Yeah, so, hold on. I totally forgot what you were saying, though. The next movie. They're doing the crossover.
The Venom, Tom Hardy thing.
They really, like... I really wish Sony would just cooperate more.
Yeah.
Because we almost never gonna get a third movie.
Yeah.
But now we're finally getting a third movie, thank God, because drunk Tom Holland, that's the truth. He was drunk trying to convince them to do it back. Thank you, drunk Tom Holland.
Totally. You're a hero.
You are the hero. I think it's gonna take I hate to say it, Disney buying Sony Pictures.
I don't know if they could go that far, man.
They could afford it.
Yeah, they could afford it.
They could afford it.
Paramount too. Like, oh my God.
Disney owning all that. The only problem is they wouldn't. I mean, they would still make regular movies, but you're creating a monopoly at that point.
Yeah, I mean, is it such a big deal in the movie industry though?
Probably not. I
mean, they're still gonna hire.
Yeah, I mean, like, so Disney does own other, production companies. 20th Century Fox is no longer called 20th Century Fox, so it's just called 20th Century Studios.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, like, is it like it's New Line Cinema, I believe, is owned by Disney also?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember. That's how they make rated R movies.
Okay.
They can make rated R
under
movies.
That roof. Yeah.
It's under a different roof, exactly.
Yeah.
But you won't see them on Disney Plus.
Sure.
Well, unfortunately, never see. Sorry, Siri is popping up. Well, unfortunately, never see Deadpool on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
I know. That's another thing that's unfortunate is we may never see a Deadpool 3. But I mean, I'm not too upset about it.
2 was only pretty good.
2 was I liked 2. I like Josh Brolin as Cable. He was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
Called him a talking sex toy. Yeah, back onto Spider-Man. Yeah, they're also saying Electro might show up. Jamie Foxx coming back.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
It's 2 characters.
He was really good as Electro.
He was probably the only redeemable thing about that movie. Like, except, I don't know. I didn't like the whole.
That was the second.
The second one.
Andrew Garfield one.
Yes, that was the second Amazing Spider-Man movie. Like
Where's my mouse?
I mean, if I'm being honest. The other villain, which was supposed to be the Green Goblin, it's like why, they didn't do a very good job with it.
No,
and it felt like Gwen Stacy's death in that movie wasn't that great.
Yeah,
because what's his name? Harry Osborn just comes out of nowhere, and he's like, "I'm the Green Goblin." Why? Why are you the Green Goblin?
It's not his voice, but I wish it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was not a great movie.
Felicity Jones was in that movie too. I forgot. She was supposed to be. They were supposed to be bringing her in to be. I can't remember her name, but she played Black Cat. Or was going to play Black Cat. Yeah. And that was going to be like, oh, I'm over Gwen Stacy now. Now I'm into Felicity. What's her name? I can't remember her last name. And Paul Giamatti as the Rhino. That was not.
Nah.
That movie, to me, was just a. We're making this movie to make a third one.
Yeah.
Because they were all about
I need to set up the Sinister Six.
It was just a setup for the Sinister Six, exactly.
Which is a great,
yeah, they're a great group of villains.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, but I don't want just a whole wall of suits. We're just going to throw this guy into the Rhino and we'll grab this guy and he can be Doc Ock. No, Doc Ock is Doc Ock because of who he is. And same thing with the Vulture,
It's a lot of character there,
Yeah, exactly. You can't just throw people in these suits and say they're the Sinister Six. I liked Alfred Molina as Doc Ock in the original Sam Raimi movies.
Yeah.
I was okay with the whole arms having sentience.
Yeah, that was cool.
It's okay. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, and then his wife dying, because of what he did, and then he becomes all sad, and so does his arms. They start screaming for him. Right, That was a little weird, but Speaking of, I want to go on a tangent here. Spider-Man, very strong guy.
Yeah,
picks up a whole bag of coins, gold coins.
Pretty heavy.
Because remember, that's what he was stealing.
Yeah,
he was stealing money, but one of the things he stole was a big bag of gold coins.
Strong bag.
Yeah, he picks it up and throws it at Doc Ock, hits Doc Ock square in the chest, and he shrugs it off like nothing. Now, if that had happened to Spider-Man, I'd be like, okay, cool. He's Spider-Man. He's strong. Yeah. Doc Ock is still a regular guy.
No metal?
No, because they show it. It's just on his back.
Gotcha.
Maybe some support in the ribs.
Sure.
But, dude, he takes that thing like a champ, apparently. Yeah. Okay. You ever been hit with a coin? I mean,
I don't know.
exactly. But a whole bag of coins that are
Kinda
gold?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's no way getting up from that hit. I'm just saying.
Totally fair. But, movies.
Speaking of Spider-Man again, this is our Spider-Man episode, right?
I'm cool with it.
I'm fine with it too. Sam Raimi was setting up a fourth movie, right?
Okay, yeah.
That was going to include Mysterio.
Third one was just so bad.
Right? And it turns out, so Bruce Campbell is a great friend of Sam Raimi.
Okay.
You know who Bruce Campbell is?
No.
Evil Dead guy.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
going to hold the shotgun.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep.
He was in every one of those movies.
It was?
Yeah.
Huh.
He was the wrestler announcer in the first movie.
Okay.
He was the maitre d' at the theater where MJ worked at.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
And then he was the waiter in the third movie when he was going to propose to MJ.
Okay.
He was setting him up to be Mysterio.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mysterio had early on figured out, like, oh, this Spider-Man guy, I remember this kid because I gave Spider-Man the name. Mm-hmm. And then he becomes a villain. And they were setting...
Man Spider. That's so stupid. Yeah.
The Man Spider. What? Yeah, but yeah, they were setting up Sam Raimi to be Mysterio.
That would have been cool.
I think that would have been great, you know? Like, this guy's been in every movie and now he's the villain.
Yeah. Yeah, you could have done the flashbacks thing throughout. Yeah, I totally dig it.
I did like how they did Mysterio in the new one, though.
Oh, yeah, he was good.
Yeah, he was definitely very
What's
good.
What's that actor's name?
That is Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yes. I know he's big and from stuff.
Yeah, Sean doesn't know movies. We're going to do a whole episode where I just talk about movies.
This is kind of it. But...
Yeah, I know. Because Sean doesn't know actors or movies.
I just can't remember everybody's fucking names.
I don't know how and that's the reason I don't know math or how to read is because I know actors' names and what movies they've been in.
I'm good at those things.
So.
Okay. We're a good team here.
Yeah, we're a great team. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, fourth movie, Sam Raimi. Now, I also want to see them do a Spider-Verse, like live-action Spider-Verse, and bring in old man Tobey Maguire. Well, he's not really old. He looks young still.
You could old him up a little, though.
Yeah,
pretty
but
easy.
He's an older Spider-Man, like they did in Spider-Verse.
He could be depressed. From
wearing the sweatpants?
Yeah. What are they going to do for
like,
Peter Porker?
What's wrong with your body? It's so round. Peter Porker. It could still be Alfred or John, whatever the hell his name is, John Mulaney.
Let's get DeVito in there.
Danny DeVito is Peter Porker?
Yeah.
You know how oh my god, you know how Peter Porker got his powers, right?
I don't remember.
He was a spider that get bit by a radioactive pig. And he turned him into a pig.
Okay. Whatever, man. Is that its own line in comics? Can I read that?
No. Unfortunately not. It's only from the Spider-Verse comic.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, that movie was so good. I think I'm gonna go home and watch it now.
Spider-Gwen, by the way, super cool character.
Oh yeah. Now
probably my favorite.
They did, and they even like her origin's very accurate. They did the exact same origin. Like her dad is a cop that was almost gonna get killed because of her best friend Peter Parker, who was the Lizard.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'd read that. I'd watch that.
Yeah, I'd watch it too.
Yeah.
Who could I get to play Gwen Stacy?
Not Emma Stone again.
Not Emma Stone, no.
No offense.
No, definitely
Love
not.
Emma Stone.
No,
and almost everything else she's ever been in.
You know what movie I've never seen that she's really good in? What is it? What is it?
Easy A?
Easy A, yeah.
Ah, dude. Great movie.
I've never seen it.
Seen it a handful of times.
Isn't it just a version of the Scarlet Letter?
It's not only just a version of the Scarlet Letter, but they're reading the Scarlet Letter while it's happening.
Because they're in high school, right?
High school. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you read that in, what, American Lit?
You know, I never did.
I never did either.
Yeah, but I think so.
Yeah. Whatever.
Good movie, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's no super bad, but...
Nothing's super bad.
Oh, man. The last time I watched that was with you, and I was super drunk. I remember that.
You can't watch it sober.
So it was still good,
yeah.
Man. Those two dudes, Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen, when they write stuff, they write some good stuff. They're writing The Boys right now, and if you don't know what The Boys is, you should watch it.
I've heard of it.
Okay,
I know what it is.
Yeah,
I have not seen it.
Well, it's like they're on their second season right now, and their last episode is next week.
Okay,
so from this time today, it's it's that day. But man, they're two of the producers on the show.
Gotcha.
And Seth Rogen has been in it a couple of times
Sure.
as himself.
Okay, sure.
Because it's such a...
Always plays himself these days.
I know, yeah. I'm gonna come back to that in a minute. But it's such a good show because it's like what happens when like how we put Marvel and DC on a pedestal, but they were real,
right? How
would we treat them? And then also like the superhero psyche, like
sure.
of I could do whatever the fuck I want, which is Homelander, the main superhero. That's a quote he says.
Okay, and
he's not very good. He's a very evil person in that show. He's definitely not a good guy. But yeah, the Seth Rogen's in it a couple times. He's the director of a couple of the movies of theirs. Because not only are they superheroes in the real world, they're superheroes on TV and in movies too. So to go back to Seth Rogen though, I watched that movie, The American Pickle, or An American Pickle. It's on HBO. It's on HBO now.
Okay.
Great movie, by the way.
Sure.
It's Seth Rogen playing two characters. The first character is himself, kind of. Okay. He's like a millennial who works from home, does this. He's got like he creates an app and all that. But the real backstory of the movie, or the real plot of the movie, is his other character was a Jewish immigrant who accidentally got encased in. He got frozen, or he fell into a vat of pickle brine. And was preserved in pickle brine for 100 years.
Sure.
And he's got to kind of adjust to New York living with his great grandson, who looks just like him. Yeah. The only difference is you could tell the difference between the two because Seth Rogen and his beard, he never shaves it. But one has a fuller beard than the other. Okay. But it's actually like the movie's got it's got some heart.
He smells like dill.
Yeah, right. Like he actually goes on, like in the movie, he needs money, so his character, his name's Herschel. He brines and makes his own pickles, and all these millennials are eating it up because they're artisan pickles.
Sure they are. Yeah.
As a millennial, I hate millennials sometimes.
We're on the very beginning of that.
Yeah.
Or the end of it, rather.
What do you mean?
Of the millennial generation.
Oh, yeah. We're towards the end of that, yeah. Oh, man. Where were you that night?
What?
The Millennium. Where we get our names from?
So, I do kind of remember.
Okay.
It's not really a big deal, but we were at a party at a friend of my parents' house.
Oh, that's cool.
In Georgia.
Oh.
Where we lived at the time, right? And whatever. Chill, just family, friends, a lot of people I still hang out with today when I get the chance to.
Yeah.
It's actually cool. The guy's house we were at, his wife was and is still an animator for Blizzard Games.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, so she makes World of Warcraft characters.
So she does she's on their...
She does the modeling.
The modeling. Okay, I was going to say, so she's on the game side of it, not the animated stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So
because that's two different teams, to what I understand.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Yeah.
I haven't talked to her in a long time.
I mean, that animation team. Yeah. Holy shit, that's movie studio quality.
Totally.
Yeah.
They made a movie.
They did make a movie, and it was okay.
It's okay.
It was okay.
Yeah.
I watch it every now and then.
I wonder if she was part of that at all. I'll have to reach out.
Should.
But it was cool because they're they're older. And her husband worked with my dad.
Yeah.
But I go over there from time to time, just play video games with them because they're cooler. Cool. Yeah. So
I think I remember. I don't remember most of that day, but I remember my dad. My parents weren't married at the time, but I remember asking him, "Are you going to keep the computers on?" For those of you who remember that. Yeah.
I wasn't aware at the time.
I didn't know what it meant either. But I just remember it being bad for computers.
Sure.
Fucking stupid. But he's like, yep, I'm going to leave them on and see what happens. Because he was either A, going to break everything, or B, start a nuclear war.
Sure.
I don't remember what Y2K really was about back then. But
it was another end of the world.
Yeah.
Every other year.
I know.
It's supposed to be.
But I do remember it when it happened, at midnight. And I was in my grandparents' living room. And, we didn't make a big deal out of it.
Sure.
I think half
more than any other year, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty certain half of them were asleep.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. I do remember, watching, because, it was happening everywhere else in the world before where we're at. We're on the East Coast, we'll say, in Florida. and all the big celebrations that were happening. It seemed pretty cool, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, had we been a little older, I know I would have been partying pretty hard.
Yeah,
but, you know.
yeah. If we were older, I mean, you're right. I'm 28, you're 27, so we're not super old or young, but
I was 7. So
yeah, there you go, exactly. Yeah. That's about all I remember from that night. Yeah, and it's funny too because we. I think I found an ad online.
Okay.
For the company that we currently work for, put out an ad saying, "Don't forget to turn your computer off on Y2K." Big old yellow sticker or something like that.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I love going back and looking at old stuff like that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I used to have an ad of one of our old ads, and it was from 2002 or 2003, and looking at the price of cameras or computers and
TVs.
Like, oh my god, I remember starting there and selling 50-inch TVs for over $1,000.
That's so crazy,
right? Because nowadays
$200.
I mean, and that's a good quality TV too.
One. Yeah.
It's that one that's got 3 letters in it. Well, I would buy it.
Sure, man.
Before I
bedroom TV or whatever.
Yeah, I used to be a TV snob. I'm not really a TV snob anymore, but I don't work in that department anymore.
I don't watch enough TV or have the pockets to do so.
Neither of us do, bud. Yeah. I did buy a new soundbar recently, though.
Oh, for real?
I've needed a new soundbar. I got a Sony.
Yeah. Oh, you got the one that was on deal.
Yep, it was on our special deal.
Right.
It's not bad. It's not as bassy as I wanted it.
It's like their second tier.
It's their second tier, yes. Yeah. So it does have Atmos in it, which Dolby Atmos is pretty great.
Yeah.
Like, because where I put it, I set it up a little bit different. Like, before, my soundbar was on the very bottom of my entertainment rack. Excuse me. Now it's on the top.
Right.
And I can definitely tell a big difference. But it's not, like I said, it's just not as bassy as I wanted it to be. But you know what? I mean, I don't really care, I guess.
Plus, you live with other people.
I live with, I gotta be conscious because I live with other people, exactly. Yeah. I shouldn't be...
like right across the hall and stuff.
Yeah, right next door, too. Yeah. I should be more conscious about them and their sleep patterns.
Yeah.
I try to go to bed at a decent time, but...
Sure.
I'm still watching The Office, so when that theme song kicks in, it can be
it's a little jarring.
Yeah, it can be a little jarring.
Oh man.
Yeah, but you want to talk about Spider-Man some more?
I don't have that much Spider-Man information left to draw from.
I did see a thing today from another YouTube channel that I watched. Somebody had asked. Because in most Spider-Man iterations, he's got web shooters, right?
Sure.
Which he just puts a little cartridge in, shoot it out. Mm-hmm. But in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man,
it's part
of his powers, which is kind of gross if you think about it.
Totally. Just glad it doesn't come out of his butt.
Somebody had asked the question, and they said, "Can he run out of webbing?" And apparently, back in the day, there was a book released that was like a follow. Like a side prod, like side up to the book, to the movie, and it said that depending on Peter's health and how his subconscious is and stuff like that, like if he eats well, sleeps well, things like that, he can have a good charge.
Yeah,
but apparently his webbing doesn't decompose for like 2 weeks.
Okay,
what? Like
that's always when you see it, it's like a few hours.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And even in the new one, he says this will dissolve in 2 hours.
Right.
Man, think about that. Fucking webbing everywhere. Oh, yeah. All over New York City.
Yeah.
And not only that, but that came out of somebody's body.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross.
It's not the most sanitary thing.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I like the cartridges a little better.
I know he in the lore he tried to sell it.
To
Oscorp when he was originally made it.
Yeah, you're right.
But they didn't want anything to do with it. I don't know why.
Crazy. It's pretty strong stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he came up with all the other, like the electric one, and there's a few others. Like the web grenades and stuff.
Tony came up with that for that suit. If we're talking MCU.
Right, but even even in the old cartoon that we were talking about, he had that.
He did come up with those, yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember a specific episode. He was meeting with a kid. It's like this little girl, and I think they were dying of cancer. And he's like
I do not remember that,
doing like a sick kid type thing.
Sure.
And they're like, "Can I see your face?" And he's like, "All right." So he takes his mask off. She goes, "Peter Parker," you're that photographer. I'm like, nobody knows who the fuck Peter Parker is.
Doesn't have selfies in the paper.
I was gonna say, yeah. It doesn't say this photograph was done by so and so and have a picture of them.
No,
it's not like
his name will be there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I just remember, like, what? Come on, really? It'd be different if it was like Superman, who was an actual reporter, whose picture goes to the paper. But that's a whole nother thing. How do people not recognize him?
What's a newspaper?
What? The thing that our friend works for?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I actually know quite a few people who work for a local newspaper. It's just kind of funny.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
And they're not even old people.
No, they're all millennials.
Yep. They just make content for old people.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised that it's actually still around, but...
It's dying.
It's definitely dying.
Yeah. Not around here as quickly.
No.
But give it a generation.
Yeah, I'd say in about a generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not going to be reading no damn newspaper.
I never have, other than like the ads.
Not even
sometimes.
That. Not even that.
As a kid, I like to look through like the Best Buy ad and like, oh, look at the video games.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
The computers.
I could buy this stuff if I wanted to. Yeah, if I had money.
Yeah. When I get a job.
Yeah, when I get a
job. That's not where the money goes.
No, unfortunately not. Well, no, not even there. No. I'm trying to think the last thing I bought that was big was that soundbar. But it wasn't that expensive, which is nice.
Yeah. You know, those big handful of purchases I made were adult things like furniture.
Yeah, I know.
A car. Although the car's cool to have.
Yeah, that's right. It still baffles me that the most expensive thing I ever bought was my car.
Yeah.
The biggest check I ever wrote was for my car.
Yeah.
Is that just a sign of getting old?
You'll know you're older when you have to sign the one for your house.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah,
that's true. Do you sign a check for that?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how that works. Does the bank
teach us that?
Yeah, we should have been taught that in high school.
Totally.
Like
how to do taxes.
Yeah, that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's easy for me, but
everyone's seen that post online. But it's very true. We really should be taught things like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I agree, but like I mean, again, I remember at work one day just doing my taxes because I did it on my phone.
Yeah, sure.
And I remember going and you were asking me, what am I doing? And I'm like, doing my taxes. Leave me alone. And then like 30 minutes later, done.
Yeah.
And then I got it like, oh man, like 3 weeks later, I got it super fast because I always do my taxes early.
Yeah.
I get it back pretty fast. I don't think this year I'm going to get anything back though.
I don't know.
I was on unemployment for a while, so
yeah, you were.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to pay some money back.
Yeah.
I hope not.
It might be close.
I got a lot of money in unemployment. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not going to brag, and I'm not going to say got you suckers because some of you people had to work, but I was very lucky. I was very fortunate.
Very fortunate.
Because a lot of people had a lot of hard times with unemployment.
Yeah, especially in our state where it's not set up very well.
No, yeah. So believe me, if you're watching this and you never got unemployment, I'm sorry.
Some of the people we work with.
Yeah, I mean, one of the guys I work with in the precinct, he didn't get his money back until the week before he came back to work. Yeah,
that's rough.
Yeah, it's real rough. So, yeah, definitely got lucky. Like I said, I'm not going to brag, though.
Yeah. We're fortunate, that's for sure.
That unemployment helped me buy my car.
Yes, it did.
I needed a car, though. Like,
pretty bad.
I had been driving the same car since 2007, and that car was already old. I got that car in 2007, and it was a 97. It was a 97 Jeep Cherokee. Great car. A very good car.
It was always in the family, right? Like.
No, I bought it from a not a buy here, pay here. Somebody that my grandfather knew. My grandfather, he knows everybody in the automotive business in this area. Mm-hmm. So he bought it. Excuse me, my mom bought it.
Yeah,
because I could afford it. I was in high school.
Yeah.
From that guy.
Right.
So, but it's still in the family. Like I literally sold it to my cousin.
Yeah,
and he brought it over the other day, and he's keeping it okay. You know. He's
first
18.
car. You couldn't beat it up.
It's his second car. Oh. His first car, he ran into a guardrail on accident. In his defense, it was raining real bad and he hydroplaned.
Sure.
So I will give it to him. Like he fucked up that other car pretty
Yeah.
bad, but it wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
So I just hope he keeps this one because that car served me very well.
Yeah.
I won't complain.
Yeah, I know what you mean. My first car that I also
The Ranger.
The Ranger. Tons of good times, but my parents bought that thing brand new.
Yeah. Oh,
It was
really?
originally a work truck. It was 2005.
Oh, okay.
I got it in whatever year was my sophomore year.
Probably same year. It would have been 07.
Yeah, 07, 08, something
Yeah,
like
because
that.
I got my Jeep and I was a junior.
Yeah, and I
So.
just stopped driving it at 250,000 miles, 250.
Wow. Yeah, you had more miles on that than I did on my Jeep.
Oh,
my Jeep had just hit 200,000.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So my Equinox though, it's got a lot of miles on it, but that's normal. It's not a new car by any means, but it's a good car.
It's a lot newer. Yeah.
Hell yeah, it's a lot newer.
Yeah.
That Jeep, man, that thing outdrove me. Like I got tired of it.
Yeah. Yeah, same with the Ranger. I mean, that thing is still kicking. It's also still in the family.
You're good.
Yeah.
Did you get the window replaced yet?
They did.
Oh, good.
So when it got busted,
Mm-hmm.
I ordered a replacement immediately.
I remember that because I
just-
offered to help you fix it.
Yeah,
we just never did it.
Never put it in, and
Yeah.
it was never a huge deal. But so they went to put it in.
Yeah.
Turns out, even though I ordered the passenger, they sent the driver.
Oh,
So
you can't use that then.
no, because
they're literally mirror.
Yeah. And the holes are in different places on those or something.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, but they ordered one and put it in. So
That's cool. Good for them.
yeah.
Probably not that expensive, I imagine.
like $60
That's
because
not
it's
that
all
bad.
crank.
Yeah,
There's nothing
yeah.
complicated. Well, even if it wasn't.
I would have figured out how to do it. I had no idea how to do it. I would have figured it out probably.
Yeah.
I put together I got this new thing today.
right.
A shelf, like little roll around shelf thing. Put that together. No instructions.
Fuck you, IKEA.
Fuck yeah. I mean, it might as well have been IKEA, but yeah, I needed some more storage for my miniatures, but also like for more of my
you do.
equipment too, because my desk is just overflowing with equipment too, like glues and handles for holding minis and sticky tack. Like I have no place for any of this stuff, so I got it, and it just sits right there, right next to me.
That's good.
Little 10-drawer system. So
Dope.
Yep.
I haven't been over in a while.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you won't be able to come over for a while still.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, thanks.
The thing.
Not to worry about it. It's fine. But I promise you, sometime in January, you can come over.
For my birthday, yay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, friend, you think it's time?
I think that about exhausts us for this one.
Yeah. We talked a lot about Spider-Man.
A ton. Episode
That's okay.
2.
The Spider-Man episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Episode 1, sorry.
Oh, yeah, episode.
The
First official episode, yes.
Yeah. Let's see. What other things do we need to cover? For this,
Mm-hmm.
we are 100% going live next week.
I thought we were live right now.
Sorry.
I thought we were live this whole time. At least we're recording.
That's hilarious. Wait, are we? Just kidding.
That I know we are because I can see it. I know you can, but that whoa. Yeah. I really thought we were live for a second.
No, YouTube stuff.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
Yeah,
That's fine.
A little weird.
That's okay.
But
there's a lot of dead air in this one. We can cut that out.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
That's not that bad.
So yeah, next week live. Subscribe and you won't miss it.
That's right.
Sunday at some point after work.
Yeah, we usually start them around 7:30, 8 o'clock. Yeah, sundown Sundays.
Eastern.
Yeah, Eastern Standard. Yep.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna work on that. However, people get like audio versions of podcasts out there into the world.
I was actually have been meaning to ask you that.
Gotta look it up. No clue.
I don't know either.
We're gonna do that.
Okay, so we will eventually be on like iTunes or Spotify or whatever
podcasting app you're into. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, Google has one, I think.
I'm sure they do.
I don't know.
So those are the big ones. Twitter and Instagram links are down below. Working on the website.
That's right.
Not up yet, but we do
Yes.
have it reserved, so that's
right.
cool. And that's it from a podcast perspective, but I think...
Yes, I want to plug the Wild Endeavors podcast. Like I did last week and this week. It's still a podcast that I am on. I haven't been on it lately, but I'm going to be on the newest episode coming out. Don't worry.
Halloween special, you said?
Yes, I don't know if this week is going to be the Halloween special. Not 100% certain. I should have asked before I started talking about it, I guess. But we might even actually continue on doing that for the whole month because we liked it this. So I might get a few Halloween ones because we did it this time. It's like the X-Files, like Monster of the Week kind of thing.
Yeah, sweet.
But Wild Endeavors every Wednesday on wherever you find podcasts except YouTube.
Sure.
But it's at Wild Endeavors on Twitter.
That'd be a hell of a video cast. All fucking
oh my god,
8 of you or whatever.
6 of us. Yeah. That would be a hell of a video cast. That'd be a lot of work too.
Totally. Poor Thomas.
I know. Yeah, exactly. I think right now in our current campaign, we're still getting towards the end. I want to say there's a good 50 episodes still before we hit the end. Yeah, those
a whole year until
had
you see
been recorded. Yeah, but that was a hell of an ending.
Yeah.
We actually a little bit this last week after the show we talked about where our characters are at now, and I found out some stuff. I'm not going to talk about it right now. Yeah. I'll tell you later.
Yeah. I think one of these coming up soon should definitely be like as many people from our D&D group as we can get together on a Sunday evening.
I think we should. Yeah, definitely. You guys can roast the shit out of me.
That's all it'll be for 2 hours, probably.
Pretty much, I'm going to get roasted because I was the DM for a very, very long time, and I do have a genuine excuse. There is a plague going on, but we haven't played in quite a long time.
Before that,
a lot before that.
But also, we finished our big campaign. And
yes, we need to talk about that for sure because. Damn, was that such a fun ride.
It's going to be such a good episode.
I know.
I can't wait to talk about that with the boys. So
rereading the Dresden Files has got me thinking and got my brain going again for a campaign.
Oh, boy.
I know.
That'd be fun.
It might, yeah. Maybe we'll get together and do it.
Totally.
I don't know, over the internet.
I'm so sad that my most recent character didn't come to any kind of fruition because it was such a cool character. Because he was set up
so good. I know.
Yeah. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, that's an episode or a whole other podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do one just about my character, but we probably won't. That'll take forever. Last thing I guess that I've got going on is over on my gaming channel. I'm currently playing through Super Mario Galaxy.
Nice.
Which I never got around to on the Wii because Wii was kind of gross.
Yeah.
But this game is fantastic. And
I know. I remember you tweeted about it not too long ago.
Like every day. So go check that out. That's linked down below too. Bardic Beards.
Yeah, Bardic Beards. 1. Yeah, for good this time.